Alert! Alert! This is an emergency live stream. Please stand by for a Smitty announcement. Alert! Alert! This is an emergency live stream. Please stand by for a Smitty announcement. Alert! Alert! This is an emergency live stream. Please stand by for a Smitty announcement. Alert! Alert! This is an emergency live stream. Please stand by for a Smitty announcement. Alert! Alert! This is an emergency live stream. Please stand by for a Smitty announcement. Alert! Alert! This is an emergency live stream. Please stand by for a Smitty announcement.
Live from Smitty1.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Take a lap.
What is going on, good people? I'm your boy Smitty, and we are actually, we're doing a voicemail show today. We're going to be doing mostly voicemail messages from the voicemail crew. If you want to be a part of the voicemail crew, a specific chat group, if you will, on Instagram, where you guys can send me message after message Monday through Friday, DM me on Instagram at the Fantasy Football Show and type in the first word voicemail. And then tell me, hey, Smitty, I want to be in your voicemail group. We are dropping all kinds of stuff in there too, but it's a good way to get quick access to ask a question via the voicemails. This isn't to say you can't right now drop me an independent DM with a voice message, because I will go look for those as well. But if you want in the exclusive group where you know I'm going to see it every time, you got to DM me right now. on the Fantasy Football Show. So if you would like to leave a voicemail and you're not in the group, you can still do so by...
It's voicemail time. Drop a voicemail at the Fantasy Football Show on the gram. Tell your grandma.
He'll punch you in the throat.
So let's hit the voicemails. We'll start off with this one's from Nevin.
Hey, how you doing? I'm just wondering the strategy that you were talking about, getting the two-headed monster, if you could do that for the two best receivers and do it at the 3-4 spot. Same thing, just do it 3-4 with the receivers. Just wondering if that would work.
Absolutely, Nev. What Nev's talking about here is the draft pick trading situation that I talked about on my last video. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. But essentially, it is to say, let's say you have the 1.3 overall pick. What Nev is saying is, can you do the two-headed monster with the wide receivers? Nev, I've got good news for you. You can do the three-headed wide receiver monster alternative, which is going to be my next video, Nev. Thanks for spoiling it, Nev. But no, I'm just kidding. Nev, great minds think alike, pal. And so essentially, I don't want to give it all away on this video because it's going to be a very, very intense, amazing video to watch, as the last one was. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. But essentially, the concept will be, here's the 1.3. That means you'll have this pick right here at the 2.10. So you have the 1.3 and the 2.10. That means you're going to have the 4.10. You're also going to have the 3.3. And basically what you would do, and let's give ourselves the 5.3. And then of course the 6.10. So this is what your draft looks like, right? And then of course you have your 7th and 8th rounders. So what the two-headed monster was to take, if you had already the 1.1, you would do the same concept to get the 1.1 and 1.2. But this is what you would do in the three-headed wide receiver monster move. You'd move this second rounder up to the 1.5, let's say. Okay, so now you have the 1.3, 1.5. In order to do so, you would most likely have to get rid of, we'll put an X here, a void. You have to get rid of your second rounder. And we'll put that pick down here. So you got rid of your your 2.10. So you trade your second rounder out and you put this void here because you gave that away. And you probably also have to get rid of your, let's call it your 4. I don't know. Let's see if you can get rid of your 5.3. So you get rid of your 5.3 for free. Just 2 for 1. You have to do a 2 for 1 with your 2.10, and you create 2 voids for yourself. In round 5, it's the only void. In round 5, your round 2 pick is now up at 1.5. But to do so, you gave away your 5.3 just completely for free. If you try and do a 2 for 2, it's not going to happen. No one wants to do a 2 for 2. No one wants to get rid of their first round pick just to do some kind of even Steven swap. Like, don't even try it. Don't even try it. It's a waste of your time, and it will detour them away from trading with you to begin with. Even if you eventually offer what I'm telling you to offer, they'll be like, nah, I'm in no mode. No. You offer something? No. They're in the mode of saying no. So don't do it. So you get rid of your 2.10 and your 5.3 for free in order to get the 1.5. The next move would be to take your 3.3 and your 4.10 and hopefully get, let's say, the 1.7. So 1.7 is what you'd have here. And then, so you have the 1.3. Let me move this up a little bit. Move that up a little bit. Move that there. 1.3, 1.5, 1.7. But now you have a no pick zone here. You have a no pick zone here. and you have no pick zone in round 5. So literally 1, 2, 3, 4 picks, 4 rounds where you don't have a pick. But keep in mind, that's not actually the case because your round 1 pick is in round 1. You never touched it at 1.3. Your round 2 pick is up at 1.5. Your round 3 pick is now at 1.7. You essentially only have a no pick zone of, in all reality, round 4 and round 5. So this round right here, round 4, and this round here, right, round 5. Then you can go ahead and you can make a team that's similar to this right here. Let me show you. This is the two-headed monster approach here, but now we're going to go ahead and fill it in. So now you have, let's say, Kupp, Chase, and Jefferson. Even though you may not land all of those wide receivers, you may have to go with a Hill or somebody, but let's just say you're able to do that. Now you have these 3 wide receivers. You still have your 6.10. You still have your 7.3. I didn't put those picks up there because I was trying to move fast. So you still have your 7.3. And you still have your 8.10. So then you got to ask yourself, what kind of quarterback can you still get? You can still get a very good quarterback. You still get potentially a Russell Wilson type quarterback, or at least we'll call it an Aaron Rodgers. So throw an Aaron Rodgers here. But what kind of running back can you get in that 6-round range? That could be tough. That could be where you're trying your best. I don't think an ETN's going to fall. You're just going to have to platoon the hell out of these 2 spots. You could probably still get like a Freiermuth here, and you could probably still land an A-Rod or a Hurts at the very least. But it is a way to try and attempt to do the 3-headed wide receiver monster, which I absolutely love, as well as the 2-headed monster. And that's all I've got to say about that. Next question. Great question, Jim.
Hey, Smitty. Now that Ronald Jones is signed in Kansas City, I kind of think he has some sneaky fantasy value. I personally think he's the best running back in that room, even better than CEH. So what do you think? Does Ronald Jones have any sneaky RB2 value in fantasy this year?
I'm not going to say no. It's certainly something to keep an eye on. He's certainly somebody to grab late in a draft. But Ronald Jones, to me, let me put Rojo's name on screen here. Ronald Jones. So it's a good question. I don't know that they're going to put it takes a while to learn this system. You know what I mean? So this is one of the tougher systems in the NFL for running backs. Damian Williams said after being over a year into the offense, he still was being told where to line up, like on every play. Like he'd go out there and they'd be like, okay, you're running this route, So Damian Williams talked about that, and it was crazy to hear that. It's complicated. I don't believe Ronald Jones just steps in and takes over Clyde's job. I think Clyde has to stay healthy. Clyde's got a lot of upside, given his ADP is really, like, the risk is very very baked in at this point. Like, we were drafting Clyde ultra high in years past. Now we're coming in and grabbing Clyde as a running back 3-4, potentially a bench run. Like, you might be able to get Clyde as your first bench running back, and you could grab Clyde, or at least your flex. Like, we'll see how people react to his ADP here now that Tyreek Hill's gone. But my thinking is, with Tyreek Hill gone, maybe Reed resorts a little bit back to an attack where the running back's heavily involved, because he's had historically monster running back after monster running back. It's just been recently that Clyde that the running game has not been potent for the Kansas City Chiefs, or consistent. It could get back to that. Good question. Let me go ahead and do this real quick. Margin, borders, voicemails. Okay, I just need to get this on screen here. Okay, this is a voicemail show, people. Voicemail show. Learn about it. Drop a voicemail now. Send it to me. Okay, so Jim, I got your question. Nevin, I got yours. Jeffrey.
Smitty, how are you doing? Stormcat here.
Stormcat.
Just wondering if you have any plans to do an auction-style special where you share your strategies and your experiences. That's my specialty. I've been doing those for upwards of 20 years, and I'd really love to hear your take on them. Thanks.
Auction, yes. We don't do a lot of auction mock drafts live just because I don't know why, but people get very angry. They want a regular draft. They want to rule through them quickly. Auctions take forever, and so you only have 12 people involved, and for some reason they're not fun to watch live. So I will definitely have an auction. I'll have a lot of auction content. More specifically though, who was this? This was Jim again. Jim. More specifically, Jim, you're gonna be able to see this kind of content on Sleeper U, where I walk you through all these different strategies. So you got to go over to sleeperu.com if you want to get the full service auction value content.
Want bold year-round rankings, trade calculators, and bold predictions? Get on over to sleeperu.com.
So at Sleeper U, you'll get all of my auction like video courses. Those will be dropping in the next week or two. So look for that. But in general, I will have an auction content video coming up here soon. I will probably Hod, it'll be like a speeded up version, you know, so like a lot of cuts, and it'll be quick. Like it'll be quick and to the point. So it'll be like, in this situation, boom, bid on that. It'll be very, very fast paced. The auction drawn out on a live stream just isn't the greatest for content for whatever reason. Jim.
Hey, Smitty, what are your thoughts on Keyshawn Vaughn in Tampa is possibly having some breakout value there late in the season? As much as I love Fournette, he definitely has some injury potential, and he's been in the league a while, so there is potential for some breakdown there where he could emerge as a starting running back with Tom Brady. So do you see Keyshawn Vaughn with any fantasy value?
I mean, he's a stash, but I mean, it's Fournette. Unless Fournette gets hurt or falters, Vaughn's not going to take control. But does that mean Vaughn can't be one injury away from getting work? He was a guy I talked about all offseason and the beginning part of 2021, saying, hey, watch out if he gets in there. There was a beat writer I talked to that said that the Bucs really like Keyshawn Vaughn, and at some point they want to find a way to get him on the field and utilize him. And what was his? He did something at the end of the year and started showing some signs of life. Let me look up Keyshawn Vaughn's game log. Keyshawn Vaughn. I forget what week it was. He had a little bit of an emergence. And looked really, really good, and everyone was like, holy crap, Smitty, you talked about this, but it took forever to happen, so it wasn't like it was easily predictable as to when we would see this, but we knew that at some point, because like I said, I talked to beat writers and people really close to that situation, and the team really wanted to get him on the field last year. So he's a fine backup, but it is going to be Fournette's job. Yeah, it looks like it was in week 15, he got his 3 carries there. And then it was the next week, 7 carries for 70 yards and a touchdown. And then he had a touchdown in week 18 and in week 19. So he's definitely like going to be in the mix for carries, and he's 1 injury away. So don't expect anything. They just signed Fournette, but 1 injury away. That's handcuff territory. Definitely if you own Fournette, or if you're looking for deep like swings, that's, stash territory for sure. But it's got to be, that expectation.
Hey, Smitty, with a Devontae Adams trade and a healthy Darren Waller, do you see Hunter Renfrow getting anywhere near his last year's value at all, or do you see him kind of falling off a little bit?
Renfrow. Put Renfrow on screen here. That's tough because there's a lot of mouths to feed. Let's take a look at his career stats and look at his 2021 full numbers and see if we can anticipate these being replicated or not. So this is Hunter Renfrow. Drag this on screen. Hunter Renfrow's stats from 2021 are as follows. He had 103 receptions. I don't think he's going to hit that number. 1038 yardage wise and 9 TDs. I like Hunter Renfrow, but I don't know that he'll replicate these numbers. And I think that given that he looks like averages around 10 yards per catch, right? If he's getting less receptions, he's probably getting less yardage. And given that Adams will be a 1,000-yard receiver, given that I don't think the team will produce 2,000-yard receivers, or if they do, it would be Waller would be the other pass catcher getting 1,000 yards, but I don't think he'll get 1,000 yards either. But if you think like 90 to 95 receptions, 900 to 970 yards, so under 1,000, and probably like 6 to 7 TDs. That's what I feel like Renfrow is capable of in an offense that now has Davante Adams absorbing a ton of the work. It now has Waller potentially back healthy. Keep in mind, this was with Waller banged up and having a bust of a year. So now that you're having like even if Adams didn't come back or didn't join the Raiders roster, and it was just Waller coming back, you would have probably seen a little dip in Renfrow's wide receiver stats for 2022, just for the mere fact that Waller's returning to form or returning to full workload. Now you've got Adams absorbing. There's just no way in my mind Carr takes that big step up and is able to now fully feed properly a Davante Adams without touching the stats to Renfrow that were accomplished with Waller down and out for a big part of the year. How many games did Waller miss? Darren Waller, let me pull up his game log. He was out a long time. Darren Waller he played 11 games. And he had kind of a bust of a season. If we put up Waller's game log here and drag that here, this is Waller. Weeks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6. No week 7. Bye week. Comes back week. No, I mean he just didn't play as well. Look at that, 2 touchdowns. Did Waller have literally hit 2 touchdowns on the season and 665 yards? That's a really down year considering the year prior he had 1196 and 9 touchdowns with 107 receptions. Here, look at his career game log. Take a look at his numbers from 2021 versus 2020, and you'll see what I'm saying. So, like, if he comes back to form at all, even if he's not the same guy, because Adams is going to take away from him as well. This was Waller's game log in 2020, 107, 1196, and 9 TDs. In 2021, he played 5 less games. He had 55 receptions instead of 107. He had 665 yardage instead of 1196, and he had 2 TDs instead of 9. There's just no way, if he's healthy, he's going to do less. He'll do more, which will take from Renfrow, and then Adams will take from him as well. So I'm going to say avoid if people are paying high-end wide receiver 2 value for this guy. Silver.
Hey, Smitty Silver. Hey, what do you think about quarterback wide receiver stacks this year? I imagine Burrow and Chase is probably the number 1 stack everybody's salivating for. Last year, as a guy in championship, had Rodgers and Adams on me. What other stacks you thinking about? Maybe like Carr and Devontae, or maybe Russell Wilson and Judy, or I don't know. What are you thinking about for stacks?
Yeah, stacks are interesting, and boy, did we have some divided stacks in the NFL now with the trades that went down. I mean, you took Mahomes and Hill away from each other. You took, Russell Wilson and DK. I mean, it goes on and on. Adams and Rodgers. If I had to rank, I like stacks, I do, but I don't avoid good talent to draft a stack though. So like when I draft a stack, it's because they are arguably the best player available. So if everything's equal, the stack is more attractive to me than to not draft it. So example, Jamar Chase and Burrow. If I'm taking Jamar Chase as the number 1 or number 2 or number 3 wide receiver and I draft him, I'm making that decision before I get Burrow unless I'm in an auction. And if I come around and I've got Burrow and let's say Mahomes, I would contemplate going Burrow to have the stack if you consider Burrow and Mahomes on a very level playing field, because the offense is so potent. I don't think there's going to be very many games you're handed where both of them do bad. you do run the risk of having a week get tanked because you're putting all your eggs in the Bengals basket in a sense. But you kind of are and you kind of aren't with this type of move. When your stack costs you a third and a second rounder, so in the case of Mahomes and Hill, pre-Tyreek Hill trade, you're talking about Hill costing you a first rounder before the trade and Mahomes costing you a 3.5. That's a lot of draft capital invested in one offense, whereas Chase is going right where Hill was going pre-trade, and Burrow's going in round 5 or wherever versus round 3. So you're laying off your risk of putting all your eggs in the Bengal basket versus the KC basket. Therefore, you can better weather a Bengal bad game because it's affecting your first rounder and your fifth rounder, not your second and not your third rounder and your first rounder, if you know what I mean. So the stack can be a lot less hampering if things go bad for that team in a given week if the capital's, a far different, situation. So I love stacks, but I mean, honestly, like what stacks are better than Diggs and Josh Allen? I mean, Tua and Hill, I don't stack that. I'd rather just draft Hill and then draft another quarterback. I'm not stacking Tua and Hill. I don't need Tua's touchdown. I need Hill's touchdown. But any quarterback I go start out of the entire 10 to 12 that I'm looking at are going to score more than Tua, most likely on average anyway. So I'm not stacking that. Burrow and Chase are probably number 1. Josh Allen and Diggs are probably number 2. Looking at this, I mean, you could say that Kelsey and Mahomes are one of the top stacks, but we're not going to use tight end here, and I don't draft tight end early traditionally, so I'm not drafting Kelsey in round 1. Kelsey's climbing to round 1. I like Herbert and Allen as a cheaper version, but they're not 1 or 2. They're later on. Dak and Lamb are later on, probably about the same degree down a draft that you'd find Herbert and Allen in my ranking. I love Lamb, but I'd rather draft a Herbert and then draft Lamb versus go with a stack. The stack doesn't do anything for me in that situation. I'd rather just have Herbert. Who am I missing here? Evans and Brady are a good stack. They're not top 2, but they're up there. Stafford and Kupp. Kupp is obviously up there, but again, would I rather draft Kupp and Herbert or draft Kupp and really like actively go get Stafford? I'd rather have Herbert. I'd rather have Trey Lance and Cooper Kupp. Debo and Trey is going to be interesting. I think that one is one that I would consider investing in as like a top 5 potential stack. But it's a great question. I like the stack question. Good job, Silver. Very good topic. Danny, you're up.
Got a Dynasty question for you, Schmitty. My question is, I got a trade going down in my league where one person is giving up the rookie pick 103 and rookie pick 106, and 2 other players, it's like Donta Foreman and Deshaun Jackson, for Deebo Samuel. So it's essentially the 103 and 106 in this year's rookie draft for Deebo Samuel. Let me know your thoughts, and I appreciate it, man.
106 and 103 for Debo. That's tough to break down, but let me do it. 106, 1.06 for Debo. What do you guys think on that? Personally, a lot depends on your team. Are you in rebuild mode? Can you win now? I'm going to say Debo. If I'm not getting Breece Hall or Kenneth Walker, if you can guarantee me I'm getting Breece Hall or Kenneth Walker, which I don't know that you can guarantee that, I would say, and there should be no veto here. Let's put it that way, because I'm debating it. So clearly it's not a vetoable trade in my mind. 1.3, 1.6, it's arguable for Debo. But if you can't guarantee me that the 1.3, is that what the question was, to veto it by Danny?
Got a Dynasty question for you, Schmitty. My question is, I got a trade going down in my league where one person is giving up the rookie pick 103 and rookie pick 106, and 2 other players. It's like Donta Foreman and Deshaun Jackson for Deebo Samuel. So it's essentially the 103 and 106 in this year's rookie draft for Deebo Samuel. Let me know your thoughts.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
I think someone was saying someone was saying Vito in the chat, but not related to this question. Way to derail the whole conversation, pal. Way to derail it, Kenny. Just kidding. 1.3. If you can guarantee me it's Kenneth Walker or Breece Hall, I might lean that direction. But even so, we might get one of those guys landing in a great spot, the other one not. So we don't really know. I'd rather have Deebo. Unless you can guarantee me it's Kenneth Walker or Breece Hall, which you can't do. But it's very arguable. Very arguable. Silver.
I'm going to bother you with one more stack question. If I was to get Justin Herbert, who's a better stack, Mike Williams or Keenan Allen?
Probably Keenan Allen on its face, but in the end, could he start getting hurt? He's older. So the question is Keenan Allen versus Mike Williams. What do you guys think? Do you think Mike Williams' contract's gonna mean they're gonna feed him a lot? Does it not mean much at all? Is he gonna have a tough time staying healthy? Both these guys have a little bit of a health concern, but I think I probably lean Keenan Allen for one more year. If it's got any dynasty appeal, I'd go Mike Williams. Although, man, the wind blew. If the wind blew really hard in one direction right now, I could literally go in the other direction again. I could see myself changing my mind a day or two from now. No way you're getting Breece Hall at 1.3. That's why I'm saying if you can't guarantee me Kenneth Walker or Breece Hall, who are my guaranteed top one and top two overall rookies, I can't pass on Deebo. So the answer is no. I'm gonna say I kind of want to go Mike Williams. A little bit, but here's the thing I'll say. If you're trading straight up, you got to go Keenan Allen. But if you're talking about the difference in ADP, then I like Mike Williams by a mile. Because you can get Mike Williams a lot later and spend your draft capital. But if you're talking about a straight trade, or you got to pick one or the other, I mean, Keenan Allen's probably got more trade value. It feels smarter, but is it really smarter? I'll go Keenan Allen for now.
I mean, I guess it should be Keenan Allen because his ADP, but I just got a bad feeling about Allen this year.
Yeah, well, trust your gut because Allen's got injury risk, bro. Hit me with a couple of voicemails, guys, from the voicemail group. Let's keep this train rolling. Jose Perez, send me a message, bro. Here's one from this is outside of the voicemail group from Asher.
Hey, Smitty, it's Asher here. So with the departure of Chase Edmonds to the Dolphins, where do you place James Conner in your draft pick? And do you think he has RB2 with upside?
That's a strong bark, bro. That's got to be like a pit bull or a Rottweiler. James Conner, honestly, I don't know that I'd expect the same kind of year out of this man, but it's hard to not like him. They're paying him a good amount of money to try and replicate what he did last year. It's not like they're going to pay him that money and not feed him. And like you said, with Edmonds gone, the risk of him splitting is a little lesser, but you got to think that if their mentality is to keep Conner fresh, it's not bad to see the same kind of split if they want to use like Eno Benjamin or they draft another rookie or something. So I'm going to say low-end running back 2, don't draft him any higher. But if you find yourself in a low running back 2 area of your draft and it makes sense, you're not reaching, you're not loving other players, and you're going position because you need a running back, you're going best player available, and he's there, I'm fine with it. I think he could have a 10 TD year. I mean, he had an unbelievable touchdown season. They kept feeding him, and the Cardinals want to get, when they get near the goal line, they do want to run the ball and be safe with it. And honestly, I think he could have another 10 TD season. So I'm going to go I'm going to say Connor's a really decent, I forgot to put his name up, really decent running back 2 in a fantasy. Good question, pal. Kenny.
Hey, Smitty, what do you think of Mike Gesicki this year? Is he more open over the middle with Hill and Waddle taking the defense, or are you more worried about his target share with having to feed 2 big mouths?
Yeah, Kenny, are you not in the voicemail group? You sent that. It's okay if you send it private, but I'll see it a lot quicker in the other group, so I just want to make sure you're in it. And before I answer that question, Terry's not happy. We have 72 people in here watching, and we only have 35 thumbs up. Can we punch the thumbs up button? Can we hit it? And of course, if you're new to the channel,
Hit that subscribe button if you're new, and wipe your feet at the door.
wipe your feet and punch that thumbs up. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate you commanding that right now. What was the question?
Hey, Smitty, what do you think of Mike Gesicki?
Oh, Gesicki. Gesicki is tough because, yeah, it comes down to volume. Do I think he'll be effective? Yes, I do, but do I think he'll get the consistent volume to have huge numbers? No, I don't think he can. I don't think he'll be hard pressed to produce like 7 to 10 tight end numbers, but do I think he's a top 5 guy? No. I don't think they run the ball enough, pass the ball enough to the tight end in this situation with Hill, with Waddle, with the running backs, with all the jet sweeps they're going to run, with all the creative Hill and Waddle plays that they're going to use that mirror and look a lot like Deebo Samuel design plays from 2021. That's what McDaniel does. He's coming over from San Francisco, one of the architects of that Deebo Samuel wingback position and approach. I just don't know how Gesicki's going to be consistent. Look at Kittle. Look at Kittle last year. In a McDaniels type of system, which this will be in Miami, it'll be different. It'll be McDaniels' own system, but it's going to come and be bred from what we saw in San Francisco in 2021 because he was an architect of that. He was not forced into that offense and just coaching it. Now he's doing his own thing. He was part of why the Niners did what they did last year. He helped orchestrate that. He was a blueprint maker for the Niners system, one of the main blueprint makers for it. So you're going to see that over in Miami. And where was Kittle? Nowhere to be found for a long stretch of games. And granted, because he was a blocker more than any other tight end in the NFL, he was utilized and pulled over to use for blocking duties, so it sucked in a way. But you're going to probably see that happen more often than you want to see. So Gesicki, I'm not really going after, bro, at all. If Brady had gone over, which we forgot to talk about at the beginning, that whole trade rumor got shot down by McDaniel himself. McDaniel came out and said that it was fake news, and we knew it could be. And I fully expect a couple people like Doug or whoever to come in and go, "Told you that wasn't going to happen." We knew that it may not happen. There was a much stronger possibility it was fake news than not, but it's my job to report it. So I'm always going to report on those, and I'll tell you what I think. I'll tell you there's some legs to this because this guy reported it or whatever, but we don't know if it's going to come true. There's a really strong chance it doesn't, and it didn't. It was fake news, but we're still going to bring up everything we hear, either to shoot it down or to maybe not shoot it down, but push caution onto it, like the Brady trade. No one here on the show was saying this was going to happen. It was just, it had legs because the reporter on it had broken Brady news before, but it was fake news. It was fake news. And so since Brady's not going over to the Dolphins, it is to his team. There's just not enough footballs to go around. You can't expect Gesicki to have a big year in that situation, in my opinion.
I mean, I guess it should be Keenan Allen.
Oh, that's the last one. Silver with another.
Hey, Smitty, what do you think about Jameson Crowder for the Bills since they got rid of Cole Beasley? I kind of think Crowder might have 80 or 90 catches. Pretty good low-end wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, weekly flex, something like that. I think he might be a value down around 10th round or so.
Yeah, Crowder. I mean, he's always productive, right? Crowder's always, like surprisingly. Let me pull it up. His game log from last year. He only had 2 TDs. He had 400 yards, but like there's games where he's going to give you like 60 yards or 80 yards and 55 yards and a touchdown. Like he could be in a good position in Buffalo. Changing teams, but he is a traveling venture. He does venture around the league. He's been with Washington. He's been with the New York Jets. Now he's with the Buffalo Bills. So he does know a thing or two about adjusting to a new system. His contract isn't huge. They're paying him 1 year, $2 million. Can go up to, I think, $4 million with incentives, but he's turning 29. So he's not a young guy, but he's decent. He's decent. He's probably like, what is he, 3rd or 4th on the depth chart? 3rd. They're putting him 3rd. Isaiah McKenzie, honestly, I feel like he could maybe have more value as the wide receiver 3 in Buffalo at some point. Diggs, Gabe Davis, and then I think Isaiah McKenzie eventually. But for right now, it could be Crowder. But Crowder gets hurt a lot, so I'm going to say McKenzie's more attractive in my opinion. But great question, Silver. Someone else dropped another voicemail in the voicemail group. Let me go to my random messages here on IG and try and find a voicemail or two that might have trickled in from you guys trying to get through outside of the voicemail group. Let's see here. I have so many messages from people. It's hard to find it in my alternate folder here. It's hard to even see these voicemails. They're like all over the place. So drop me one in the voicemail group or send me a DM real quick. Okay, couple super chats here. Overcome with a super chat. Appreciate you, good buddy, good pal. Overcome, you're the man, the myth, the legend. Terry with sorry, okay, my Instagram kept blasting there on you. Michael Carter, sleeper. Yeah. I don't know how much people will be sleeping on him though. I'd say he's a popular running back 2/ high end flex. He's not a low end flex by any means. You're gonna have to pay quite a price to get him. He's not gonna be free. So I'd say like breakout more so. I don't know if anybody's gonna be sleeping on him too much to the point where like I feel like it's win a league value necessarily, but Michael Carter certainly has breakout potential. Like he could be a pretty darn good running back too, in 2022. Do I think he's got running back 1 potential? Probably not, but you never know. I mean, I did like him a lot last year. A lot of upside. Jets draft a running back, says Jerry. Breece Hall. They could. I wouldn't put it past him. Breece Hall's special, and so is Kenneth Walker. So many people are talking about Breece Hall right now. I like Breece Hall. I like him a lot. But I like Kenneth Walker as much. Wherever these guys land will determine who's the 1.1. Breece Hall won't be anointed the 1.1 if he goes to a much lesser situation than Kenneth Walker. Like if Kenneth Walker lands in Buffalo and Breece Hall lands in a very cloudy situation, Kenneth Walker's the number 1, the 1.1 rookie. Terry, how we doing on thumbs up? We've got 88 in here. Guys, punch that thumbs up. Help your boy Smitty. If I've helped you at all, punch that thumbs up and let's get this show rocking. Jets draft a running back. Too many mouths to feed though. Crowder ain't bad. I like Michael Carter. Crowder is expired. Crowder pass. He missed a lot of games. Terry with the super chat. Terry, thank you very much. Terry said, Cup League is coming. Get your spot now. $20. $20 super chat gets you in. It's not an entry fee by any means. It's just people that are dropping these $20 and up super chats. Oh, and where's my high super chat of the? There we go. I'm sorry about that, Drew. The high super chat of the year on a live stream will go in the top corner of every show when I remember to activate it there. So we have a $105 super chat from Drew C. The other day. Dropping a massive wad right on the show. Appreciate that. Terry said get your Cooper Cup spot. So $20 super chatters, get into this league. There's no entry fee. There's no prize money, but you're getting things like the autographed Joe Montana and Jerry Rice Hall of Fame red helmet, which I've got right. Where is it? This helmet is amazing. This helmet is amazing. Where is it? Takes me forever to find it. Takes me forever to find it, but I will find it. I will find it. Where is it? Here we go. Here we go. I can feel it. I can feel it. I'm down about 400 files. Takes me forever to scroll to it. Where are you, Joe? Joe Montana. I don't know where it is. I'll find it. Hold on. It'll take me a second. But this helmet's beautiful. This helmet is amazing. It's magnificent. Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, autographed red 49er Hall of Fame helmet. It's somewhere in here. Here it is. Oh, no. Well, I'll find it and put it up in a minute. I'm sorry. I don't want to delay anything. But yeah, sign up and here are the details on that league.
I give you Fantasy Cup 2022.
15 rounds. 96 owners. That's 1,440 picks. 8 copies of every player in the player pool.
That means Jonathan Taylor will likely consume all of picks 1 through 8. And Henry and Cup could make up most of picks 9 through 24.
60-minute timer.
This draft could take 80 days to complete.
96 owners, 15 rounds, 8 copies of every player in the player pool.
1 division of 96. 1 winner.
I give you Fantasy Cup 2022.
So if you want in that league, any $20 super chatters will get in. You'll be fighting for this 49er helmet if I could ever find it in my files somewhere. I have so many files like that I'm messing with and saving to my computer, exporting video files left and right. Like things like that get buried so quick. Like this is like, it seems like 400 files ago in my folder here of downloads. Like seriously, the amount of stuff that I save and export out is absolutely insane. But I want to show this helmet, so I'm looking for it. I'm going through every file I have, trying to find it. It was on the top, but 400 files later, it just got buried. Oh, there's my patellar tendon knee surgery photo. Where are you, Joe Montana and Jerry Rice autographed Hall of Fame helmet? Where did you go? Whatever. It's beautiful. Just know that. It's beautiful. Hit that thumbs up if you're new to the chat. Tariq in the house. Appreciate you being here. How will I get in, Terry? Axe, I've already messaged you on this. Pal, you super chatted to get in last time, and I sent you a message asking for your email. You sent it to me, and I told you I'd send you an email, so you're in, pal. Just wait for the email. Offenses will revert to the mean. So Jets what? Revert to the mean. So the Jets will likely get better. So Carter should do better next season. Okay, I agree. It's low blood sugar, Smitty. No, it's called a lot of files on my computer, Cliff. My blood sugar's fine. My blood sugar's fine, pal. Not to mention, I've got this little number right here. We're doing good. Blood sugar's fine. Let's go back to, anybody got any more voicemails? We've got how much time left in the show? 3 minutes? 4 minutes? Yeah, look for that trading into the 3-headed wide receiver monster video. It should be out by tomorrow morning. I plan to do a lot of rookie content from that point forward, breaking down the rookies, doing a rookie mock draft, looking at rookie ADP data. really going over Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker, talking about how these guys won them the two, and it's not Breece Hall for sure. It's whichever running back lands in the better spot, because they literally are two elite, talents, okay? Like Kenneth Walker, number one in elusiveness, number one elusive rating, number one in forced missed tackles, and the dude has just so much potential. Number two in all of college football in rushing yards. Kenneth Walker's elusive and phenomenal. And if you watch Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker's film, Kenneth Walker has better film. Breece Hall had a better combine. And so it's like they're both amazing. They both have a little bit of an edge on each other if you look at this angle or look at that angle. But I love both of them. Both are in really good shape to be top 10 running backs if both of them land in a good spot. Like, think about it for a second when you look at all the running backs that are. Let me pull up Dynasty rankings on running backs, and let's just take a look at where you could slot Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker, and why it's so important to be in the rookie running back game right now if you're in a Dynasty league, because the running backs are about to take a turn and kind of shuffle around. JT, Najee, and Javonte. Those are the top three running backs right now that are all youthful and also top five guys. Javonte's ranking 5. He's my number 2. So for me, it's Javonte, it's Harris, and JT. Obviously not in that exact order. So the order would be JT, Javonte, and Harris. That's my top 3 running backs for Dynasty right now. You look at McCaffrey at number 3. Swift belongs in the top 6. You look at Eckler at number 6. I mean, he's going to have a phenomenal 2022, but will he really be an elite runner for multiple years? Will he be an elite runner for more than a year and a half? Probably start getting hurt and being a concern. So I feel like we're really looking at a potential situation where Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker can really slip into that 5, 6, 7 overall for running backs. So I don't know about anybody else, but I'm not excited about Chubb or Kamara or Dalvin Cook or Joe Mixon or Christian McCaffrey. And I'm a little more excited about Austin Eckler, but than those guys, because I feel like he's got a little more, potential longevity on his side. But every running back I named, you could make an argument that Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker belong in Dynasty for right now, and situation could bump one of them out, but they belong right after JT, Javonte, Harris, Eckler, and then maybe one of them, then maybe Swift, then maybe the other, because I'm not banking on Kamara, Cook, Mixon, Chubb, Barkley especially, Akers especially, Derrick Henry, no, in Dynasty, no thank you. And none of these guys, Aaron Jones, they're all going to fall off in 1 to 2 years. So Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker are more valuable. So my rookie running back rankings are probably, or not my rookie, my running back rankings for Dynasty will be JT, number 2, Javonte, number 3, Harris for sure, number 4, it's going to be Hall or Walker, and really 5, but even though between those two, one would probably fall, but like Eckler, and then Swift. And Swift has concerns for, injury concerns, but that is probably what we're looking at. I don't think I'm missing anybody. No, I'm not. If we're talking Dynasty running backs, that's what we're talking about. Taylor, Javonte, Harris, and then it's Hall or Walker or Hall. Eckler could move ahead of one of them and Haller Walker stay at 4, Eckler 5, and then Haller Walker at number 6, and then Swift at 7. That would be it. That would be my top. Is everybody else? A couple of people said buffering was going on, but I've only seen a couple of you say that. I don't think there's anything going on with the stream. Yeah, Cliff, you might want to close those other windows that you got open. Walker running off pure athleticism. He doesn't understand blocking schemes. I don't necessarily buy into that, Kenny about Kenneth. No, you guys share the same first name, Kenny. You could have a little bit more belief in the guy Kenneth Walker, who's number 2 in the entire college football community for rushing yards, number 1 in elusiveness. How does he not understand blocking schemes, Kenny? I appreciate you, though. Let's see if... what else we got here? Any more voicemails? Nope, that does it. That's all she wrote for today, everybody. Appreciate you being here. I will see you all tomorrow. If there is an emergency, I'm going to be live. If any breaking news drops, I will be live. That's how I roll. Just think to yourself, is this big news? If you're saying to yourself, oh my God, this is huge, that means Smitty's live. That means run to your phone. That is probably attached to you. Just pull it out of your pocket. Load up my YouTube channel, which you can find always by going to thefantasyfootballshow.com. Or if you subscribed already, turn the notifications on, for goodness sake. And if you're new, for goodness sake as well,
hit that subscribe button if you're new and wipe your feet at the door.
So like yourself on the way out. Punch it, smash it, pulverize it. Oh, we got one more voice message from Silver.
Hey, Smitty, what do you think about Dalton Schultz? Now with Cooper gone, Cedric Wilson gone. Schultz was 8 last year for real, man. He was tearing it up. I kind of think he's going to be a top 5 tight end. Really, just kind of getting overlooked. What do you think about Schultz? Where should he be drafted at?
I mean, I don't know if you saw this, Silver. You've been working hard lately. You've been missing a couple of the live streams. But I went over my 3 tight ends that are the next Waller and Hawkinson. And your boy Smitty's number 1 in the entire fantasy industry in tight end draft rankings. There's nobody that beats me in it. 3 years, you average my last 3 years, I am number 1 in the industry according to Fantasy Pros. And I finished number 1 2 out of those 3 years. And I'm telling you right now, Silver, you are correct. Dalton Schultz, Dawson Knox, and Pat Freiermuth are the 3 tight ends, if I had to identify 3, that have the potential to absolutely explode from their draft value and be this year 2022's version of Darren Waller and Hawkinson. It is Pat Freiermuth, Dalton Schultz, and Dawson Knox. Maybe Schultz number 1, or not. I'm not sure between Knox and Schultz who I like more. Freiermuth would be 3rd, but it's a neck and neck race between Schultz and Knox. I love both of them. And the number 4 is a big name guy, and he could be ranked number 1 of the group of 4 tight ends that could win you a league based on the value range. Maybe not win you a league, but get you in darn good position. And the 4th tight end could be ranked as the first tight end of the 4, and that's Darren Waller, because Darren Waller is going to go higher. Darren Waller has tons of upside. Darren Waller was a high 3rd round pick last year, and he busted on people. Now you can get him at the end of 5, sometimes at the top of round 6, especially with the Adams trade. Waller will be able to crawl into 6th round value. That is the definition
baked in, boys.
Of baked in boys, baby. The definition. So Waller, as a big name, overlooked guy. Ertz too. I like Ertz a lot. Ertz is a lot lower, but one of those guys, if you're like trading draft picks away, Ertz is someone you can grab and put into your tight end spot. He's perfect. So it's Waller higher, like round 5 or 6. Schultz and Knox aren't going to go that much further than that, but they're more undervalued. Dalton Schultz, Dawson Knox, and Pat Freiermuth in that order. All right, guys. Appreciate you. Same bat time, same bat channel tomorrow. I will see you all on the Fantasy Football Show live, 7 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. I will see you all tomorrow. And again, think to yourself, if this is big news, oh my God, this news is huge. Smitty's live. Smitty's live. Let me go see what Smitty's saying about it. Like even when Will Smith smacked Chris Rock, I almost went live. A lot of people DM me, hey, go live. It wasn't football, but I almost went live. If it's big enough news, if it's like a world war or Chris Rock getting smacked by Will Smith, I pretty much am very tempted, or I will be live. Okay? Because that's how I roll. I'm here for you. It's not just football or just fantasy. Sometimes it's football. Doesn't have to be just fantasy. But the next time that happens, I'm going live. You can count on me. I'm here for big world news, for big anything. We'll be here. So I'll see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, unless we have a piece of breaking news later.